Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on Holot Neferima. Versus in the west, we got DownPT fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, the 2nd Panzer Division. Versus in the east, the Far East, we got Quirin fighting for the United States of America, freedom, democracy, the American dream. Here with the 1st Armored Division, and we're looking at Lightning War. Holy crap, we're in that kind of Lend-Lease bonus. Elite troops and mobile defense with infantry machine guns versus rifle company, recon support, and airborne. Definitely not your usual selection of commanders. Triple infantry here for him. I don't know, DownPT, I believe is from Portugal. As for Quirin and Nardi, I'm guessing they're sort of roughly in the top 100-200 range, by the way. Double rifle there for Quirin. Gonna the MD42 start the sandbags up here, not of course at the same time their tank traps is. Both players sort of trying to set up positions here, so in the case either these houses get occupied, they can sort of fight the houses to an extent, though it's rather more disadvantageous for the western player if that house gets occupied, because there's more windows, similarly to how this sort of has more pressure point here compared to here. So in that regard, the western side does have a few disadvantages compared to the eastern side. Rifling southwards, resistance moving towards the centre, interesting enough, not riflemen, so to contest there, with the 2nd Rifle Squad's dispatching northwards there for Quirin. In this case, to quickly wire off the truck here, that way denying cover. Got work there by Quirin, setting up for the battlefield. Pioneer standing about here, could wire off there in theory, but does not do so. And Gandhi is sweeping through the south, scattering his forces, perhaps a bit matched there, as I'd like for them play, but they're going before to come the compartment here again, preventing the opponent from getting into it, though at the same time it does mean that DownPT is not immediately actually going for the fuel point, so he will risk falling behind the Quirin there. There's something else to keep in mind, and there you go, we also can see there's a very early mortar here for Quirin. Some American players like to go heavy riflemen, some go to rifle mortars, and some go for very early mortars. Quirin is clearly one of those who favours a very early American mortar to that way pressure the Wehrmacht opponents. I don't think he'd done it had he been an Oberkommando West player, because that's going to be less effective. But versus a Wehrmacht player, that early mortar can give you just a bit of extra push there versus the Germans, and certainly frustrate any machine gun usage. But there you go, it's finally sending someone northwards. So again, it's the Grenadiers, not the Pioneers. So in that regard, again, there's this focus there, I feel like, from DownPT's forces. Not a particularly huge fan of that. Grenadiers to spawn the Pioneers, but the Pioneers are taking too much damage, and the Grenadiers, I feel, are too far away to really have an impact. But they're going on there doing damage. The thing to mark about though, but the Grenadiers versus Riflemen is up close. The Riflemen have a definite advantage, but at the range, Grenadiers actually have a slight edge. But again, we're talking like twice as much DPS up close, but at range, small edge there to the Riflemen. Grenadiers, not a huge one, but still, they do have a slight advantage there over the Riflemen. Up north, Grenadiers continue to move ahead. Then Grenadiers push back the reechelons there. The cover there was that DownPT. I missed that one. MD42 back in the house. Mortar covering the south, and Riflemen continue to push up the south. Grenadiers, they're continuing to fight despite being a bit of low health condition. Ambulance following up there for Quirin, and at the same time teching for the lieutenants. That's actually a pretty light tier 1 for the Americans, sort of respectively. Usually, 2 rifle and 1 VS and a mortar is very, very light. You won't normally see that, but of course, if you're going for the lieutenant, you can usually, make up for it with the lieutenant himself. Right here, these Grenadiers need to retreat, though. Or here being engaged by riflemen, and there go pushed up. But they almost got the other rifle squad, so that kind of almost worked out there for DownPT. But it's always getting most of the other map there. Quirin, say, folks in the south, is allowing DownPT to secure the rest of the map, so of course, that's also a bit the risk with this kind of sort of, well, very, very early combined arms approach with the American player. I mean, again, it means they can dominate in certain segments, but it does mean they sort of lose map control, which is, a bit rare to see versus the Wehrmacht. But in this case, DownPT is playing sufficiently aggressive to actually counter this kind of opening from Quirin, which of course begs the question, has he played against Quirin with this before? Is there some just a bit of luck there? Mortar and a lot of trouble, but interesting enough, he's not retreating it. He's basically trying to buy time here with the just get the lieutenant in there. And it does work out there actually. In fact, because he's focused on the mortar, the lieutenant could actually close in without taking a single bit of damage. So, very risky gamble here, but actually worked for Quirin. Again, the lieutenant now could just sweep ahead there, but in this case, there was a second line of German defense there, the MD42 quickly putting a stop to him. God damn it, Lieutenant Dan, what are you gonna do? Run away. Run away. Pioneers little flamethrower getting the rifle there. Up north, we got Rearson pushing for the northern fuel or victory point there. Gonna do something about there. Do we any tech up? Yes, indeed. We have a light to make a nice company. Half tech or 222 here could be pretty good for DownPT. Though, of course, Panzer Grenadier could also be a sufficiently German choice here, with the 50 caliber following up there for Quirin to help control DownPT's aggressive infantry play. Bankers up there for the Grenadiers to provide healing. Big 2 points wise, we get a tiny lead there for DownPT over Quirin. Mortar down in the south, that pretty much means his machine gun is pretty safe. At the same time, though, Quirin should probably consider pulling back the mortar for some reinforcements, since, I mean, all it's going to take is a German sneeze and that thing's going to drop dead. Rather retreating there, looks like he's setting up for a counter-attack of some kind, or at least just a big attack somewhere else, because else there wouldn't be much point in just pulling back the rifleman there unless he's really worried DownPT is going to be sending down, you know, half the German army there versus that single squad. Weapon racks on the way there for Quirin, keeping up to get a sort of aggressive tempo, momentum there versus his opponent. Down there also playing aggressive there, he is going for the 2-2 to that way, try and control his opponent's infantry a bit. They also counter any light vehicles that Quirin might decide to throw in DownPT's general direction. Up north, got the 50 caliber there firing away at the Grenadiers. Pushing them away, and there you go. Straight into the MG42 there, quickly suppressed and pushed away. 50 caliber there, opening the Grenadiers, pressing, doing a bit of damage there with the heavy caliber rounds. The Germans technically didn't have a heavy machine gun like that. Technically, the MG42, I suppose, was they considered heavy machine gun. Though in theory, you could argue, in fact, the way the Germans utilised it, particularly in the later stages of the war, the 2cm flak was the German heavy machine gun. Of course, also a lot harder to know about. But, for example, infantry divisions would have had, for example, their 2cm flaks described as a heavy machine gun company. So that's a little sort of fun detail there. But then go wrapping up with BARs to precision countering them, cracks from machine gun, autocannon, blasting away at the advancing Americans. And there you go, bazooka team already here, already expecting the 2-2, which of course, without any sort of counters, can actually become quite a big threat to an American player. So a quick bazooka team there can usually be quite advantageous in countering it. In the centre, we've got Lieutenant Rifleman against advancing Grenadiers, who without any sort of serious firepower will be a bit disadvantaged, in particular with the mortars nearby, which Quirin has healed and reinforced. He's going to try and rifle grenade it here. I think we should focus more on the nearby rifleman. This is where Doctrine will help for maybe some G43s or something like that. A concussive grenade could also help. At this point, though, Quirin is just pushing everything towards the centre there to push back DownPT, who's now going for Panzer Grenadiers, and Quirin is going for the M20. But surprisingly late. Normally, you'd go for the M20 as the very first thing from the platoon command post as soon as your lieutenant is down. But he actually goes to the 50 caliber first, and then follows into the M20. That's actually pretty out of the usual. Again, most players will go for the M20 first. I go for the M20 first. I really don't think I recall anyone going for a 50 caliber first and then the M20. That's in fact incredibly irregular. So Quirin here is clearly not your average American player. He's setting up here for a big push into the south. Got the 2-2 there. Haven't seen this bazooka team pulling back, needing repairs. Grenadiers moving up. We also, of course, got the Panzer Grenadier, and we got at least one light machine gun team there for DownPT. In this case, ensconced within the house to cover the centre. Feels a bit less efficient. He could also use his machine gun, the heavy one more aggressive, in particular considering how Quirin is playing. Quirin, so far at least, is not displaying much amplitude for advancement. It's rather so, you know, a larger attack person, meaning overall DownPT would more proudly benefit from his machine gun supporting his infantry team, so that way, you know, gain an advantage versus Quirin. But he's keeping it in a lot more static positioning, which is rather to Quirin's edge in favour. Oh, direct hit on the mortar with the Grenadiers, though he is flanking up. They're going to hit the mortar crew there. Very good by DownPT. Very good. Straight into the 50 caliber, they're covering the mortar. Very nice setup. Yeah, my apologies there. Tried to get that mortar. Honestly, probably just before it popped into the shed and just fired at it point blank from inside the shed. So in that regard, you know, a bit unfortunate there for DownPT. Though, of course, he didn't know there's a 50 caliber there. I mean, in that regard, Quirin was pretty much just expecting him to try and flank and deal with a mortar like that. So that's some pretty good tactical foresight there by Quirin. Pretty good. You got armoured skirts going up there for the M20 utility car, which by the way was itself sort of a version of the M8 Greyhound that just had its turret removed. In fact, that was a common method of just creating different kind of reconnaissance vehicle. Elite troops by DownPT, concussive grenade goes off, almost wipes the lieutenant. The British in particular practiced that one of just removing the turret from a lot of light vehicles. You know, you got, for example, the Stuart, that became the Jackalope without a turret, for example. Basically reconnaissance, but also troop transport. And we got wire cutters at work here. And we got the 2-2 striking back though for the fatherland. Another MG42 to help deal, but again, I feel like you'll be using this one a lot more actually. I mean, they're going to really insist on having something cover the area here. A machine gun bunker would be much better. He should just look to freeing up his MG42. M6 had a tank mine down there. Nasty. But good to see that from Quirin. He's clearly, again, sort of on the Dave scale, you know, around 800 millidaves already here. I mean, this is, again, just some pretty tough American play. I mean, he's making use of a lot of the Americans got. We also got a pack house on the way there as well, further improving the amount of firepower he can bring to bear versus DownPT, particularly artillery. Cancels the need to retreat. That was less good there for DownPT. Less good, and there you go. Finally dispatching someone to arrest, in this case the captain. Oh, almost lost the Panzer Grenadiers there. Not good. Not good. USF being shredded by light machine gun fire. 2-2 need repairs. Pack 40 could be any otherwise. Tech up for a fast Stug could be a good idea as well there for DownPT here versus Quirin. 50 cover coming from inside the church. Mortar would not be a bad choice out of a DownPT. And there you go, pack out up for Quirin. Okay, he might lose the gun of these. He needs to retreat. Ah, scheisse. In the south there, catching a large infantry force there, though, with a concussive grenade, doing quite a bit of damage. Almost wiping out Rifle Squad Lieutenant, also suffering out a bit. Almost got the G43s ready, but the problem is he's taking too much damage before it is ready. So you're not helping out DownPT's Grenadiers there. And the rifle with a BAR and an LMG42 is very bad news for DownPT and the 2nd Panzer Division. Up north here, we got the Grenadiers versus the captain. Pelting him with the machine gun bullets. And he goes spotting the man running straight for it. 2-2, they're more or less good to go. Troops healing reinforcing. Panzer going to be lancing out again. Mortar fire on the 2nd MG42. We got the 5th Cav there breaking at the Pioneers. And Quirin is already taking a hit there. He just went for the captain for a single pack card for moving on. And we got Stormtroopers for DownPT hitting the mortar with a concussive grenade. Doesn't quite get it. They could follow up here with a weapon. Oh, there we go. There we go. If you can steal that, would be pretty great here for DownPT. Stealing away a mortar. But the problem is now there's a 50 cal there is covering it. Panzer is drawing fire though. Oh, pack out. M20 moving in there. Might not be able to pull it off anyways. He's going for the pack out now. DownPT there needs to be very careful about that. Pushing forwards there. And pinned. Not good. Could have maybe gotten away with the mortar there close, but nice guy in the end there for down. Had he been able to steal it, I could at least sort of given a bit of artillery there versus Quirin forces, maybe sort of slowed him down at times. But that is now too late, and Quirin and the 1st Armoured Division is quickly advancing. And there you go. He's actually using the captain to supervise production from the battalion command post. He's clearly 900 millidaves territory. I mean, so few players use the captain's supervisability, if they get the captain, that is. I mean, it's more common out to lieutenant straight to a battalion command post, but, you know, the ones that do go for the captain rarely have ever utilised the supervisability. And in this case, it seems like he could have done something with it, but didn't. Hard to say. Still, DownPT's good control on the map here, despite some of the more tactical losses. Strategically, he's still waging a successful engagement here versus Quirin, but again, he is suffering some losses and not quite doing as much damage here, so he does run the risk that at some point Quirin basically just snowballs him. So he needs to be a bit careful about that. In that regard, DownPT again, while strategically I think on sort of solid ground, he is tactically in some cases a bit prone to suffering from, well, poor unit preservation. Which causes him to make some pretty bad judgments that cost him a lot of units. But he needs to take out and bring out some armor pretty fast. I mean, he's got a lot of fuel, so it's a bit surprising here that DownPT is not trying to, you know, convert that fuel into an actual armor advantage versus Quirin. In particular, in Quirin, I mean, he spent so many resources taking up everywhere else. So DownPT just, you know, been fast and hard on, say, a Panzer push or an Austrian push right now. I think Quirin could be in a lot of trouble. So This feels a lot less efficient there from DownPT. But there you go, he does finally take up here. We got gunners pushing for the pack howitzer. DownPT came out very aggressive game and just sort of catching Quirin off guard at times when he does have a tendency of leaving some of his units unattended. And DownPT, again, seems to be very much aware of these sort of transgressions and seeks them out with unerring accuracy, and that way can punish Quirin again for just leaving his support units that way exposed. And that regard, he's doing a reasonably good job. Getting cut-off points as well there. They got more to push back, but the gunners almost got wiped out. Storm to support here by the 2-2. But we got the 50 calibers always here, proving to be a 4 there for DownPT's infantry. Up north, the captain once more meets his eternal foe, the German machine gun. God damn, I hate German machine guns. I lost my father to a German machine gun in World War I. And my grandfather to a German machine gun somewhere else, I don't know where. Anyway, so Pommel Corps going up there for DownPT, artillery fire raining down there. Troops sealing reinforcing. And a Sherman East, not just Sherman regular there on the way. Briefly thought he's easy, but he hasn't chosen a doctrine actually, much to my surprise. You'd think he'd maybe consider that. I mean, he could in theory just push out an EC8 with some speed here, which could be quite helpful there for Quirin. But it's going to be a lot harder for DownPT to handle compared to regular Sherman due to well, having more armor, health, and, you know, better gun. He does need to be careful about bouncing up his infantry. He does have a tendency for that, and it does make DownPT's grenades a lot more effective. Yeah, so Yankees really love, but holy moly, bunching up. He just lost a lieutenant to that. In that regard, Quirin, while again clearly favouring, you know, in a more concentrated assaults, needs to be careful about bunching up his forces too closely like that. It certainly seems blobbish at times. In this case, allowed DownPT to really punish him harshly. I mean, that's a lot of dead Americans. That's certainly something that Quirin needs to be a bit more mindful of. But there you go. So Paul McCrop, he can actually go for a Panther 4 now, which can soon. Should certainly consider it. We got the Sherman on the move as well now. Moving out there for Quirin. Got the gunners on the way there from the M20. And there you go, Panther on the way for DownPT in the second. Panzer Division. 2-2 taking heavy hits. That's going to get knocked out. Then he's retreating. And there you go. Leichte Panzer Spielwagen kaputt. Blown to bits. Quite a loss there for DownPT, but his Panther 4 is almost ready. Panzer is reinforcing. Storms with Pioneer supporting the north. He's still maintaining overall map control there as Quirin. Again, now Quirin certainly enjoys a sizable advantage on several levels, including, of course, the Sherman. But, of course, he also has the artillery advantage with the backhouts and the mortar. Sherman there getting a few hits down, advancing German infantry passing into the south. And again, another hit here behind the rear lines against Quirin. Again, DownPT really an aggressive flank and harasser in that sense. Always looking for a weak spot he can then sort of hit. So in that sense, I suppose there's a bit of a stormtrooper to him. Mortar gaining veterans in 1. Panzer 4 there. Gefechtsbereit for DownPT and the 2nd Panzer Division. Moving ahead there with his Panzer 4. But there you go, Sherman going in there. Shoots and takes a penetrating hit there. But he did get the unit in retreat. Pioneers were lost for DownPT. Could clear out the church machine gun there, possibly. Could also pursued after the Sherman, but for the reasons DownPT, they decided that was not worth it. That was just not worth it. Major grabbing the northern point back here, troops healing reinforcing. And we got double bazooka teams now up here for Quirin. Interesting enough, he's not upgraded the Major, which you can also do for extra weapons. Still, there is a lot of bazookas and a lot of anti-tank firepower here for Quirin and the 1st Armoured. Ooh, 50 caliber crew then a lot of trouble, noting though the Panther was not been upgraded with the pin-up machine gun, but looks like he won't need it here against the 50 caliber. Wipes it mercilessly. Yes, this is Ludwig reporting machine gun crew dead. So machine gun Joe is still operable for mysterious reasons. You'd think they destroy, you know, the good hit from a high explosive round, but for some reason it's barely dented. It's like the Americans made some pact with the foul ancient god. Anyway, Sherman rolling up here. And then takes a good hit from the Panzer IV. Laying down the smoke screen on the machine gun though. Good work there though. The problem is in this case there's overlapping arcs of fire from the machine gun, meaning the infantry was still pushed back, but that was actually pretty good there, you know, covering up the infantry assault there with the smoke screen from his Sherman. So, yeah, but in this case, death in defense proved superior. For those who don't know what that means, death in defense is kind of as the name says, you know, your defense is layered, meaning if they breach a line, it's not the end of the world. They actually have to pass through another line. That also tends to be most, you know, modern armies do defense anyways. Scott on the way there for Quirin. We'll use the captain to supervise it. Captain push weight. And still no doctoral choice for Quirin though. He's hit the 20-minute mark. So again, that's usually the naughty mark for attacking. Storms by the way with Sturmgewehrs. The STG-44. So named because that was when it sort of went officially into action. I mean, it's sort of been, you know, underway for several years, including from 1942, where it's seen a lot of testing on the Eastern Front, before it was sort of officially adopted as the Sturmgewehr. But the Grenadiers wiped. Now the infantry lost there for DownPT. We'll need to replace them. He's got another Panzer IV on the way though, which should lead him to numerous arm advantages there with Quirin, if he can just then handle it efficiently. I'm trying to crew there, suppressed, got the Panzer IV on the pursuit. Storms will up support there as well. Good Arbeit in the south. Americans are securing the points. Victory points wise, DownPT and the 2nd Panzer Division still enjoys a sizable lead over the Americans. And no one's bothered with the 50 caliber so far. So there you go, 2nd Panzer IV there for DownPT. Stormtroopers will need to retreat there versus the Sherman. And the Panzer IV turns to shoot, lands a good hit, but takes return as well there from Sherman. And of course we've got a lot of bazookas supporting, but with the spot their machine gun, they can't easily close in the Panzer IV. Of course we've still got the artillery then supporting the Sherman here, the pack howitzer. Ever the threat. Two Panzer IVs here could actually, with a bit of infantry support, win the game for DownPT if exercised usefully, I mean correctly. Because I'm a big push for here. Clearing out any infantry, then hitting the tanks. I mean, he can, you know, easily overwhelm any of them, particularly because, well, he's only really got the bazookas, so well-executed assault, they could, you know, clear them out and then leave his Quirin's tanks unsupported, versus then 2 Panzer IVs. You could in particular to go for Stuck, then he'd be in a really strong position with just some more Stormtroopers or Panzer Grenadiers. But there you go, smokescreen on the centre. In this case, though, he's lacking in the infantry to follow up on it. But I guess it could just be, you know, for mental purposes. Yeah, those krauts will think we'll be attacking, and then we won't. They'll never see it coming. Stupid krauts. But he has gone for Rifle Company. They cut it out a bit sooner. Maybe, you know, some fire up here and there. But does open up there for the Sherman EC8. Scott there landing a not very successful 75mm high explosive shell. But at least it lands. Not like that one that went into space and became sentient. In Star Trek 25, the sentient high explosive shell. Anyways, Panzer IV then getting the rifle in the south, Panzer IV in the centre versus the M20. He's scattering out his Panzer IVs a bit much there. I mean, you know, as Guderian always said, strike with a fist, not an open hand. So, I mean, again, while scattering out your Panzer IVs can be efficient for the defensive long term, you generally want to concentrate them somewhere for, you know, actual attack. As for Quirin, he's beginning to flow man. Oh, whoa! He actually used to Scott there to lay down the smoke screen to support his retreating rifleman. Impressive. Most players wouldn't be able to pull that one off, but he was just, boom, mobile smoke barrage. And from the Scott, it's actually free. That's impressive there by Quirin. That was impressive. I'm actually not seeing anyone just so flawlessly down a smoke screen to cover retreating infantry, like, you know, from any sort of unit like that. So, good work. But right now, we can see DownPT's back in map control against Quirin. Flamethrower Pioneers are flanking in here, killing his 4th position. Panzer IVs there could have supported a bit better, in particular with some Stormtroopers and Panzers in tow, but for some reason he's holding them back there. He's holding them back, not quite laying down enough pressure in Quirin when he could have. And now we can see Quirin sort of bring up the anti-tank guns to sort of then you know, making it harder for DownPT to use his Panther Force freely. He's himself going for a third one. Of course, at this stage, he could maybe consider, instead of going for a third Panther Force, just trying to push for Panthers, and that way, you know, aim for full armor superiority over Quirin and the first army. But he's aiming here for a third Panther Force, which will certainly also work. It certainly will be faster, so that also has its merits. But at the same time, considering how he's using his Panther Force, which is so far very conservative, but the question is, would he not have been better off with a Panther anyways? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, obviously, he's going to use that just conservatively, won't matter as much either, but, you know, at least that might help it, you know, keep Quirin's armors a bit more, you know, state of fear. Quick grenade here. The bag lad. Oh! Almost wrapped the reaction there, but there you go. Quick return hit from the Scot, and up north, we got more infantry pushing through there. Quirin also hitting the south, keeping up pressure there, whereas again, DownPT's now getting more focus in the centre, and keeping the majority of Quirin's forces, you know, from, you know, moving through. Oh, yeah, that's 3 Panther Force now versus a single Sherman. Of course, he does have the anti-tank, and he still has a lot of bazooka teams. Still, that is 3 Panther Force, and we got a second Storm squad here. That is 2 of them, with more assault rifles on the way there. Nice to see. Someone besides me going for Storm with assault rifles, and certainly going for more than 1 squad. So, jolly good there. There goes scanning up his Panther Force. One supporting an infantry pushing to the south, the other one supporting the storm troops in the north, leaving only 1 Panther Force to keep Quirin's centre forces in check. Though if he's going to support the infantry, he actually needs to keep it within supporting range and not just let the Panthers move in on their own with absolutely bloody no support there. Malik to lose in there, that would be a bit of a loss there for DownPT, where to lose is virtually 3 Panzer Grenadiers. That would be quite a shame, but there you go, 650 push back the American enemy. In the centre there, take fire down. Smoke on the machine gun up there from the mortar. We have some pushing forward towards the centre there, got 50 cap supporting. Armour hanging back, could still push up the head as well. Guessing that's the Scot laying down the smoke barriers there, could have been the mortar. VS is moving ahead there, machine gun can't fire, Panther Force can. There you go, Bazooka fire, Sherman moving up here as well. Landing hits, smoke screen there from the Panther Force, more smoke appearing here. Panther Force continue, Sherman continuing ahead here, might want to smoke the machine gun there. And we got white phosphorus on the machine gun, second machine gun coming also a bit toward the same area. More smoke around here in case the Panther Force moves back. Good lord, that is some very efficient smoking there by Quirin. He's clearly been training in using smoke and white phosphorus. Impressive. Technically, white phosphorus is also used from smoke screens, by the way. That's what you're technically only supposed to use them for in modern days, you know, smoke and illumination. You're not supposed to be firing at people, whereas the Americans did that a lot in, you know, World War II. Because as it turns out, it's really good at burning people in a sense that it's really nasty stuff, and you inhale it, it's pretty poisonous. White phosphorus is bad. Okay. So there you go, still, that was over a very impressive display of smoke and just smoke screens, plus white phosphorus. 2 thumbs up from the propaganda ministry. Not covered in white phosphorus, by the way. But there you go, second info 2 still there. Could lay down another smoke screen here, except it doesn't have grenades, but it does have the Scot or the mortar. Or could, of course, just fire white phosphorus. There they go, Stormtroopers flanking there with a quick grenade before charging in for the fatherland. Still taking some losses, but to just flush out the Americans there. Good work in the south, Riflemen securing the victory point for America.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Still with 3 Panther Force, he's got a lot of resources. At this point, you know, taking hit for a Panther would be a really good choice. Even if he's not going to get it right away, in case he then loses one of his Panther Force, something like that, he can then quickly replace with a Panther. And there you go, Quirin finally bring up more armor. He's going for the Sherman EC8. Also very low then victory points for Quirin. He needs to put a bit more effort on the victory points, but also think some more decisive engagement versus DownPT. And Morpheus with double Panther Force, but there you go. Heavy cover with bazookas means the Panther Force does struggle with them, and that's sort of where a lot of the anti-tank infantry tends to excel. If you can get heavy infantry into, like, you know, heavy, you know, dug in position with heavy cover and the likes there, tanks will generally struggle clearing them out from the front, and that's usually where they can really, you know, do their most damage. There you go, pushing to the south. Pat Carter lands a very close hit there. Maybe it was a mortar. Hard to say there what's firing and what's not. But there you go, Scott on the spot. Oh, close hit there. Half the unit gone. Sie got Jürgen und Fritz. Ah, scheiße. Oh, that's That's going to be a moving clash there. Panzer IV's not being repaired. He needs to prioritise a bit his Panzer IV repairs. There you go, got another one also being repaired. Ooh. No grenades by the way here, which should allow the info to win there due to being light cover. Though it is a very close situation there, very close. But there you go, M20 to the rescue. EC8, oh, he can't get it. He's actually at full pop cap. He's got so much there on the field he can't. And DownPT loses the MD42 there. But there you go, Panzer IV's on the march. Ziel, 500 meter. Fire! There you go, rather being pushed back there with the double Panzer IVs, threatening there with death. Oh, mine went off there. Either Telemann or 20 man, don't know. Either way, they got annihilated. We got mines that are going down here to come in against any Panzer flanks from the north. Good work there by Quirin. Good work by Quirin. Plans their quick to retreat with no armor support about. They're not going to risk it there. Not when the enemy has armor about. Push into the centre. Panzer IV pioneers there. Double Panzer IVs can also try and support the flanking from north. Of course, it does know there's a mine, but theoretically it's an idea. Alloway Storms moving ahead there, sneaking 50 cover. This is where, you know, DownPT himself could benefit from a mortar to lay down smoke screens of his own while attacking, that way covering up his opponent's machine guns. Because, I mean, really at this point, he should have figured, you know, Quirin's made a pretty good demonstration of the power of smoke. You know, Fritz, don't we also have some of this smoke? I know, Safira, you know, forbid smoking, but I don't think it's that kind of smoking specifically he hates. Smoking down there from the Panzer IV, which I guess does help the Stormtrooper a bit. He lost his Grenadier squad though. That could have been done a lot more efficiently there by DownPT. That could have been done a lot more efficiently, to be honest. Machine gun there by still abandoned. Panzer IV's bombarding any advancing the echelons. Machine gun fire, high explosive shell. There goes stream of bazooka rockets, though none really hitting. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Quirin though is getting back more and more into control here. DownPT's I think getting awfully focused just attacking through here, which is certainly giving Quirin more ability to, you know, deal with it. And there you go, he's finally calling in a Sherman EC8 here with his 76mm gun, high velocity. Panzer IV tank from the front. There you go, taking hits from the bazookas and the anti-tank guns. Quick use of the armor-piercing discard sapper rounds, which certainly increases penetration, making it harder there for the Panzer IV to even have a remote chance of bouncing the shots. In fact, I think it removes pretty much all chance. Plus eventually too. But there you go, Sherman with EC8 moving up there. Panzer IV heavily damaged. Needs the other tanks down there. This is where no Panthers or some Stufen great. In fact, he's just flooding resources, which could indicate he's planning for the Tiger Ace at the moment, which I don't know. He's got so many tanks that the Tiger Ace seems kind of superfluous. Again, just more armor, any kind, like Panthers, or even just more Panthers or Stoops, would be much more preferable. Particularly considering he's not really using his tanks very aggressively either, so a Tiger Ace in that sense would be really wasted, because the Tiger Ace is very much, you know, an all-in weapon. If you just, you know, sit about with it, you're usually going to give your opponent quite an advantage. So that feels not very efficient there by DownPT if he's actually planning for the ace. I mean, he's also got so much fuel, so the ace in particular at this stage just feels very much wasteful. Not to, but now he has to kind of go for it. He's just committed so much to it. But if this is just a thing, you know, set up for Panthers and just that way to dominate the EC8 and the Sherman. Oh wait, got an ace out here for DownPT, a hardened crew of men having seen service on the eastern, the western front, blown up T-34s, British tanks, American tanks, and the occasional Italian tank for whatever reasons. They'll be used them as target practice, you know. There we go, Reason's down, wiped out as the Tiger then lands a good flanking hit there. Panzer almost knocked out. The same can be said about the EC8 here. There we go, blown apart, cooked up. And there you go, quickly outmaneuvering the anti-tank. No, he stops up in front of it instead of just getting behind and taking out there. Also taking more hits from it on the front, point blank. Smoke screen down, other Panzer. Don't, what are you doing? Down, just get it all back. Plus he's lost pioneers, meaning all tank repairs are going to be really slow here for DownPT. And, I mean, just most of his armored forces now heavily damaged. He didn't get the anti-tank, and in fact he's allowing him to take more hits. That is not good there for DownPT. That was not good. I mean, he got the EC8, but he really should have done a lot more than just getting it. And now he's just basically left with a lot of tanks and needed a lot of repairs, and he's got a single pioneer squad to do it all. So that was definitely less than efficient there for DownPT. And could easily give Quirin a good chance there of just stabilising and making things very miserable for any German panzer crews. Nice running towards us with the depleted Panzer Grenadier squad. Sending out his almost fully repaired Panzer IV, but still a bit risky there. Panzer need to retreat immediately. There's so much still firing down on them. Panzer IV needs to get out of there. I mean, he can't engage the Jackson like that either. And now he's just going to pull back for repairs again anyways. He can soon go for another Pioneer squad, but again it's just going to mean every other of his infantry squad's also just going to in there. Not a good situation. Honestly, you're better off if you just pull through with the Tiger Ace, try to do as much as the Ice Fort went down, and that way just followed up. Because still a lot of tanks and infantry that just need replenishment. With this, he's sort of just positioned himself in a way, but he can't actually really do a lot of things because again of that manpower deficiency. He hasn't done a lot of damage to really, you know, outweigh that at the moment. Again, that Tiger Ace was just. Again, he got a tank, he got some re-echelons, but that doesn't really outweigh the fact that Quirin still has a pretty massive force compared to DownPT. So this is not very good for the German army. Still, hard work there on the Tiger Ace. But will it be enough to win the war for Germany? Watch and find out. And he's supervising now these. He's actually making use of the supervision abilities. Also in this case, doing what some people call abuse. Apparently, really, it's intended at basically popping out all the crew so it gets the population for it, so it can then call in another tank. And then it can just pop back in all happen. But then again, he can't reinforce any other units. He pretty much just puts himself above there. Plus, of course, he'll be getting even less resources due to the heavy upkeep then, imparted on him. Still, he's slowly getting his force into order there. And he got 119. In fact, he's almost getting his little manpower there as his opponent now. Almost. And in this case, he's actually popping a flare. He's actually trying to figure out what his opponent is doing. Very few people actually utilize the flare from the rival company. In this case, he just pops it there. Where's my opponent's tanks? Well, there we go. There's an ace coming in. That, of course, allows him to spot for his Jacksons and anti-tank guns. So, very good usage there of the ability. Panzer IV there being fixed, prioritized, and all that. Troops reinforcing healing. Grenadiers slowly advancing in the south with a little support. Needs to be careful. There we go. Ace, EC8, Jackson all sort of coming under fire from each other. Does he need to cover the lieutenant? Letting Bali did go for a replacement lieutenant. He's also gone for grenades now. Yeah, Grenadiers need to retreat very quickly. He's not reinforcing versus infantry. Now he's charging 40 at Panzer IV. Quickly taking a lot of hits. I'm not entirely sure here what DownPT's planning versus Quirin, but so far it seems a bit awkward how he's handling his arm. And there you go. He spots the tank before then actually says about flanking them. Seizing an tactical opportunity there versus DownPT. And there you go. Panzer IV down to half health. He's quickly focusing down. Good prioritization there by Quirin. Being behind the ace now, unsupported. In fact, we can see that DownPT has made a pretty big tactical blunder. He's scattered all of his tanks. Comparatively, again, Quirin is focusing all of his armor, although right, he's making a slight mistake of blowing up. There you go. Just going in to take out the damage. Panzer IV there, almost knocked out anyways. And all of a sudden here, this is quickly turning very ugly for DownPT versus Quirin. Jackson, though, makes the mistake. He actually goes ahead first versus the Panzer IV and the Tiger Ace there. Almost gets knocked out here. In this case, kind of works out anti-tank forwards. That's another mistake. Then in this case, though, works out again. Oh, gets the Panzer IV, though. Sherman there, hit a mine by the looks of it. Straight to the ace. So the ace now is just further getting isolated from the rest of DownPT's force. Smoke screen down, but a bit too late still. Quirin makes active use of smoke there. Good use, good use. Jackson down. Almost got an EC8 there. If he can attack round through the smoke, he might have a chance. But looks like his opponent will pull it off instead. Nope, misses. Looks like the ace might just barely get away there, having done some damage to Quirin. But I think the actual question is, was it enough? Was it enough? Yeah, a lot of smoke there, a lot of smoke. EC8 rolling away there. Noting, Bauer, the M20 is still alive. Quite impressively. Singing up there, need to counterattack there with his infantry. Also need to get his Tiger Ace back in action. Pretty schnell. Pretty schnell. That's also a sign of something going on there. Oh dear. I was slightly wondering why my FPS was dropping, but we got a gravitational anomaly. They're rare nowadays, but as you can see there, basically everything is heading to some point off map there. It's all just sort of floating away there. That's basically why I suffered an FPS drop. All of a sudden my computer's basically trying to calculate for some whatever reasons that all of the stuff is heading in some direction of the map. There goes second machine gun drop. He's actually lost 2 machine guns out there. That's amazing. There goes Stormstorm down the rear, but there's no armor support because the armor is just one tank which is now being repaired. The Quirin and MD42 making harder there for DownPT to get points back. Grabbing the Grenadiers there. Now the EC8 for him, and we got more mines here for him. Further just trying to deal there with the Tiger Ace. Also note, corpses are part of this gravitational anomaly as well. So, yeah. They used to happen more often, but you can occasionally still just get this gravitational anomaly where again just the physics engines just decide again there's a black hole or something off the edge of the map somewhere. And that's really just the only way of explaining it. There's a black hole. And again you can see it's just causing a massive frame rate drop on my computer. So my apologies for that, but the fight is almost over, so we'll keep bearing with it. We'll bear with it. Didn't happen in the match itself. Obviously, again, the physics is just something that's handled from match to match. So, occasionally, it just sort of wonks out like that. Very rarely, but it does wonk out. Almost got the 50 cover down in the south. Got a decent job with these 2 EC8s. He's just bringing up a lot of them now. Pushing further on, advantage there is DownPT again, who's just within a single ace. He's playing it somewhat more aggressive now, but the problem is again he's just, I don't think, you know, doing enough damage to really warrant it. And he's got what, 3 vehicles and 9 infantrymen. It just doesn't really cut it considering his opponent's got so much more on the field here. I mean, he needs to just, you know, go nuts with it to really, you know, at this point, you know, make it worth it. He needs to go absolutely bonkers. Stormtroopers, oh, he actually lost them, the entire squad. He just continued to migrate northwards. Bazookas, dead Yankees, branches, debris, dead Germans, more branches, wheels. Second Panther almost done there. That tree's just basically floating in mid-air. Apparently they've entered the Chernobyl zone somehow. Anyways, got the E6 moving ahead there. Go straight for the ace there, half health. Panther for the flanking there, go catching here. Quirin's armoured column in surprise. Smokescreen down there to quickly block off the Panther. He's really sharp with this. That is some great micromanagement over the smoke. He's even laying down a second smokescreen with a Scott. Holy moly! He's actually using it to bait, I think, the Tiger Ace into closer range of fire there, maybe. Oh, wait, that... Holy moly! So much smoke! And such great usage of it! Oh dear, he's caught the anti-tank off in a bad spot. He did not expect him pushing that fast so far again. DownPT's been rather conservative with his ace, so you might not expect him to push in so fast, but he did, catching the anti-tank on the veteran 3 anti-tank and threw off guard. Bazooka fire down one side, EC8 on the other. Struggling with again the gravitational anomaly here. Just continues. Now they're being dragged off map slowly but surely. Beaten by some unknown entity. And there you go, ace almost down, another smokescreen pop down there. Anti-tank and miss, there you go, the EC8 gets the Tiger Ace. And with that, I think DownPT here is broken. With only a few infantry squads left, And not much else. Mein Gott, what is happening with Ludwig's corpse? It's being dragged off somewhere. Got retreating. Storms between Norfolk's there. And there goes surrenders. GG. Game over. A loss for Germany. A victory for America. Great smoke uses by Quirin. Good use of his units. Good use of the abilities. Doctrinally, he could, I think, done a bit more, but still he made use of flares, which is definitely something. Most American players never use those. I mean, that's impressive in its own right. Good use of his armour. For DownPT again, initially also good play, but the problem was late. There were some issues with the unit preservation, but also the way he handled his armour. He needs to sort of work and, utilise his armour with more effect. I mean, in many cases, just hang back with it instead of trying to launch some big attacks, doing more damage in that regard, and he wasn't a very good wielder of it. And I definitely feel like the Tiger Ace in this case was a mistake. He should have just tacked for a Panther, to be honest. Had he tacked for a Panther, it probably would have been a much better situation than if he'd gone for the Tiger Ace. I mean, that would have been so much clearer there for him. He probably could have won through. Instead, he just went for the Ace again, used it conservatively, and basically put himself in a situation where he couldn't really do anything for several minutes, which is really just solidified the field for Quirin. So that definitely some issues there. But again, really good play by Quirin, good use of abilities, doctrines, pack houses, but also just that smoke. That was some bloody on-point usage of smoke several times to cover his own units, cover advances, cover retreats. That was just amazing there. Really something to, be inspired from, to get better at using smoke. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Danes and cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.